Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Screen Time Continuum on this Sunday Fun Day. Today's Sunday, right? Yes, I think it
Yes,
is.
sir.
And I'm here with the boys, Nick and Keelan. How you guys doing this Sunday?
Happy Sunday fun day. Good, man. How are you?
I'm behaving for the most part until we get the show started, and that mood might change.
Hmm.
Fair enough. I'm all right over here on this Sunday. It feels, I don't know, it felt like a Sunday in the 90s for me, kind of.
Hmm.
If
All
you were in the
right.
90s,
You,
that
you,
kind
you've
of,
been you've been watching Nickelodeon again. I see.
Did you run through the
Um,
sprinklers or something? What was
no,
going
no,
on?
no, 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 no. I actually listened to a lot of
Smash
uh,
Mouth.
a lot of MTV Unplugged albums today.
Oh,
Oh,
there
there
you
we
go.
go. That's
Yeah,
always refreshing.
that would make sense.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. So for today's show, we are going to be reviewing or discussing a movie called Hearts Beat Loud. This movie was a 2018 movie starring Nick Offerman, Kiersey, what do you call it, Clemens, Ted Danson, Tony
Collect.
Collect or Clemlet, and Sasha Lane. So let's go over this. This started off as a movie that came out in, let's see, am I correct? It came out in Sundance. It came out, well, it premiered at Sundance back in January 2000. Sorry, January 26, 2018. Just for it to come out in theaters in June later on that year everywhere, June 8 particularly. So this movie had a budget of $100.8 million, and over the span from January to June, this movie made a sum of 2.4 million. So it definitely made a little bit more than what his budget was, which is not
Wait,
too
did you
bad.
say $100 million?
Oh, no,
Oh, I'm sorry,
1.8
Oh,
million.
okay.
1.8 million.
Okay.
And
That was
It's
why my
crazy.
face was
that'd
so
have been
stupid just
nice.
now because you said $100 million. I was like, how? How could this movie be that much?
They stretched it like Parasite.
I hope it all went to Nick Offerman.
Well, for that
That
voice.
that that dude is
That's
loaded.
funny.
He is content. He's just doing shit for fun now, like Daniel
Mhm.
Day Lewis without the
Mhm.
acting. Um, so yeah, just to sum some things up real quick. I mean, this movie doesn't really have like a big grand story or anything like that.
Mhm.
So it's very simple, very cut dried. It's literally about a father with his daughter that is going through some changes that most parents who have children that go off to college and also is dealing with life. So he's not financially stable that God knows what age he is in this movie, along with trying to mm, hold on to his daughter, the best way he can, and that's through the power of music or just creating, through their version of art. And along with that, just trying to figure out what is his next steps in life when she goes off to college. And that's about it. And I guess we can dive into it. What you guys think?
Um,
And I'm sorry that it wasn't 2 hours plus.
Don't
yeah,
be sorry.
don't
Yeah.
be at all. um, I remember hearing about this movie. It's funny when you bring it up. I went and I saw I didn't watch the trailer, but I just saw the cover, and I was like, oh, I remember this.
I know that guy.
And right, and that was really what it was. Two things. One, I remember there was a Nick Offerman movie that I had simply forgotten to watch. And then I remember when we watched the movie Dope, you had said that Kiersey Clemens was in another movie with Nick Offerman that you liked or that you had seen. I'm not gonna say you said you liked it. You said you had seen it.
Funny enough, I did not see this movie until now, which is a good thing because I was just
Huh.
telling Nick earlier. This and a bunch of movies I came across. I was like, oh, okay. I did my own lottery in my head, of course, and just wrote them down. And I'm like, and I know if little
Look it
Mike
up.
is watching, he's gonna be pissed off because he suggested today's movie and it didn't come out that. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing yet.
Hey, it is what it is. It's good. It makes for great content, or does it? But
Oh, and let's remember, she's also in the Snyder's cut. She plays
Justice League, right?
yes,
Yeah.
she plays whatever her name West. I forget. Damn, how can I forget that? Oh my
Iris.
I'm not sure.
Iris, there we go. She
Mhm.
plays Iris West in that very long 5-minute clip or scene.
Well, something that's funny. Something I thought interesting about this, just starting with the cast alone. So we know Nick Offerman has, a little bit of a vocal background musically, blah, blah, blah. Everything he does, somehow he ends up playing music or singing or something, right? And he's good at it. And after watching this movie, I went and I'm like, okay, there was a lot of singing in this movie. I wonder how much of it was real. Who wrote this stuff? And so, come to find out, it all of the songs sung by Kiersey Clemens and Nick Offerman were most of them by Nick Offerman were written by Keegan DeWitt.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another song that Nick Offerman performs that's written by someone else. I didn't quite get the name of those. There was like 3 people on there. And then Toni Collette also sung that song that she was singing, like she actually was singing that. And she put an album out in 2006, Toni Collette, who played Leslie. And I like her and other stuff like United States of Tara. But, so for me, after watching the movie, those were like good takeaways. But the movie itself, I didn't dislike it. I didn't dislike it at all. I like music. So, this really was about music in the process. And,
Mm-hmm.
in ways like all
He's
of that was
floundering.
in there.
Get him a life raft.
That's
Get him
right.
a life raft.
That's right.
You love that ending. You was just like,
Okay, no, I'll be honest. As far
You'll be
as
bouncing.
the music content and like that whole bonding of that through the movie and the singer-songwriter aspect, I loved all of that. With that, there's not really much to dislike, honestly. But yeah, I can leave it really pretty much at that. As far as the music is concerned, actually everything. I can't say I dislike this movie much.
That's okay. I'll say it for you.
Go for it.
Yes.
I'm like Scrappy Doo over here. I'm like, let me at him. Let me at him.
Hold on. What Scrappy Doo we talking about? James Gunn Scrappy Doo?
No, the cartoon, man. The cartoon.
All right, the good one. Okay.
Yeah. No, I understand what this movie was trying to do. I like what it wanted to do. What it did was vastly different. And the way I thought about it was this movie is a teenage girl. It's disinterested. It's kind of all over the place. And then there's a burst of emotion at the end. That's basically all it is. I don't think that the arc was cohesive enough. It felt like you could go through the whole movie and yes, it's like a day in a life type movie, but they're supposed to be like, they set it up like there's supposed to be grandiose markers for the movie, but those markers just never come. And then you find out by the end of the movie that there are 3 songs that have been written, but they only wrote one together, and then the other 2 were kind of separate from each other, and we finally see the final piece at the end. But the funny thing is that I like the actress and I like Nick Offerman. I don't like their chemistry together. I thought she was obnoxious and way too uninterested for being a child that lost her mother and then having like this quote unquote relationship with her father. But then all she could do is kind of shit on him the entire time. Until the last moment where she's like, oh, now I love you. And let's do music together. I don't know. So for that and many reasons, I have to say I liked what it wanted to do. I don't think it did what it was supposed to, in my opinion.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, I agree. It does not get a 92 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh,
but
there's a conspiracy again. We're here. This is another Paper Tiger thing. I could barely find any negative reviews.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
People got paid, baby.
Definitely not Paper Tigers, though.
No, I know.
But conceptually, yeah, it's not 92. So in that regards, yeah, another paper tiger conspiracy.
I'm
Sure.
interested in those scores to a point because I would love just to sit down with one of those critics and be like, why
What are
did
we
you give
looking
it
for?
yeah, yeah, what are you looking for, and what is that we supposed to praise? So I'm like, I'm very interested.
Mhm.
And I know some people in the business, and I sit there and I hear, some of these people, they like certain movies or certain TV shows, but they dislike certain things. I'm like, why is that? I mean, you can sit there and watch what's that movie? It came out, I think, a year or two. I think it's called The Irishman or something like that.
Oh yeah.
You can sit there and praise a movie like that.
Ugh. Ugh.
Praise?
At least I'm consistent, damn it. Both of those movies get a yuck.
Wait, praise?
Yeah, there are a lot of people that praise The Irishman.
Really? I did
A
win
lot
some
of-
awards or
yeah.
something, didn't it?
Yeah. Just a
Yeah.
whole bunch of old dudes. Why do I want to watch that movie?
Line I said in the other movie, line I said in the third movie, line I said in the first movie, new line, new line, new line, line I said in this movie again.
Because
Robert De Niro, frowny face. There
You're
you go.
you're waiting for it to become a porno scenario. There
Oh,
was
God.
there was one movie I watched. I just stopped watching it because of that same reason. It's the same little example I gave. I forgot what the name of this movie was called, but it was with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino.
Mm.
In a
And
porno?
only thing, no, but it had the scenario of it. They were like some type of dirty cop shit. It was weird. The only thing I just see is Robert De Niro with his shirt off, getting it in doggy style with some chick, and I'm just like, yeah, time to turn this off.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
What the fuck are we talking about?
I don't know.
Loud.
Back to the movie. So you like the concept, you like where it was trying to go, but you didn't like it at the same time.
Yeah, no, I understood where it was trying to go.
Yeah,
Actually,
okay, I'm sorry.
I'll be fair. I thought Nick Offerman was going to die out the gate because they were foreshadowing the smoking thing, and then his daughter being into hearts and studying the heart, and it's called Hearts Beat Loudly. I thought he was going to have a heart attack and die. I'm kind of glad they didn't go that way because there's not enough substance for this to be that melodramatic.
Imagine if it did.
Huh?
But they did.
They did?
Yeah, the traumatic death of her mother that we never really hear about.
No,
or see.
no, bro. No, I laughed
Right.
so hard. I laughed
You
so
laughed.
fucking hard when I saw that. When you see the sign with the bike, the sign fucking says cyclist died here.
It does. But it has her name up top.
Dude,
No,
Her name
it
is there,
doesn't.
too.
No, it doesn't. It
Oh,
says cyclist died here,
oh,
and then at the bottom it says in loving memory of blah blah blah. They should have just said in loving memory of blah blah blah. Why would it say cyclist died here?
because legitly it's Red Hook, New York. If you've been to Red Hook, New York, New York is legitly
Is that like Cyclistville?
It's like no, well, yeah, it's like fucking Seattle of New York. It's the
Oh, yeah,
Seattle,
no.
Washington of New York.
I'm sure, yeah, hipster Brooklyn, hipsters, all that stuff. But it was hilarious that it said. I just laughed out loud when he looked at the sign and it said "Cyclists died here."
See, that's
Because
where
no
you
one stole
laughed.
a bike.
That's where you laughed. I was thinking that why somebody would have stole that bike.
That was my
That's where you
fault.
laughed. Ironically, we laughed about the same thing, but in different spots.
Mm.
I laughed when they were laying there and she asked her about writing down the Coney Island, and I was like, but
She
did
got
she
all
ever tell her?
emotional.
I was just like, did she ever? Like, come on, bro. She never.
Yeah,
You never
it was
had that
long.
discussion with her. Like, you have to have that discussion with her on screen before you have this emotional moment about this.
It was a long pause too.
And that's what I'm saying, though, because like all of this movie tries to tackle a lot of really deep emotional issues, but it does it in such a surface way. And by the way, the editing in this movie is god awful. The weird cuts that they put in interspersed that don't have anything to do with anything really. But they're tackling things like, coming of age, girls go, a kid growing up and going to college and, flying the nest, not growing up with a mother, being in a lesbian relationship. these things are all things that you could really dive deep into and actually have a certain substantive storyline. The dynamic between a father losing his daughter, like these are all heavy topics, but they don't even try to give you any of them in any meaningful way.
They just give you the what
process of
dad,
making
mom,
music.
and well, they give you a bit of that, but I think they really just give you the age old live vicariously through your child moment, and then the child being rebellious.
But
It
they
was
didn't
just
even
a
do
lot
that
more
on
soft.
it.
This
They didn't
movie-
even do that deeply, though.
That's what I'm saying. It was just soft.
Yeah.
It was soft,
Yeah.
very softly done, and I think that was even more so focused upon than, like you're saying, Nick. There were a lot of other things that could have made this movie kind of dark. In fact.
You know what made this movie great is if the daughter had decided, hey, I lost my mother and my father means so much to me. I'm going to take that year off of work to help him rebuild his record shop.
Why couldn't she go to like NYU or something? There's a
Right,
bunch of
right.
medical schools everywhere else,
It's like
not just
every other
UCLA.
kid, they want to just travel, man.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you this.
Or something. I don't know.
This,
Look.
this movie is a tutorial on how to go to an out-of-state college
Syracuse or something.
and how to put up music on Spotify. There you go, people.
And how
Yo,
to
yes,
how
there was
to
there's definitely a tutorial on how to put your music on Spotify.
and how to begrudgingly accept your father's pleas for bonding by creating music, only to take the songs that you made together and go solo. Cool.
Yes.
Hey,
Awesome. Family. Woohoo.
he knows what he signed up for. You don't go creating one kid and then think you created a band.
Well, yeah, and then he was like sitting there, and that was Sam Fisher, not Daddy and Sammy. It's Sam
Are
Fisher.
hilarious.
It's the wrong Sam Fisher.
No, I mean it. Not Splinter Cell, huh?
Not spoiling yourself. Okay.
But literally, that's how he set it up at the very end of that movie. Like, it's all her, not me. This
Yeah,
is
but
obvious.
it was him. He was the only one reason that she went to making music. She basically fucking told him to fuck off when he was like, "Come on, let's jam together. Let's jam together." It was his passion that like got her wheels going about making music, and it's just like, okay, so now that
Well, apparently they were already doing it. Like that's a thing that they did regularly.
yeah, but they did
And she
not
was just
show us
gonna
that.
flake out.
They did
No,
not.
yeah, I
show
know,
us
but
that.
that's why, like, he was like, "Do you know what time it is?" To prove it was like a regular. And I'm with you. There were subtleties. That's it. Like
Very subtle,
hundreds of
loose
them.
storytelling. Yeah, just try like you're just supposed to know these people already. And honestly, again, I don't like the dynamic. I didn't think they didn't seem like they cared about each other. I don't know. The daughter came off really kind of bitchy until the very end. Sorry, my wife said that, not me. Just-
And it's funny because I can imagine it in her voice now.
yeah.
uh,
I mean,
Yeah,
she was also the one to point out, like, why, if you love your father, why didn't you just take that year to go like make music with him? You guys obviously are going to get like, a label and a record deal.
when you're young and you don't know, you just go and do what you think is best for you.
Yeah. And see, that's another deep theme that they could have actually touched if they gave this any consideration, but they just decided to gloss over it like all the other deep themes that they wanted to touch.
Like her dad didn't get half the appreciation or the time that her girlfriend did.
Yeah. And that whole thing was just a complete, oh, I see you from in a art museum and now we're kissing each other.
Yeah. I wanted them to. I like that they didn't try to make that too overt or like this big problem or big story, but I would have liked to know a little bit more about how did we go from meeting to, like you're saying, to this moment, because we didn't really. I don't even remember her girlfriend's name. Like, did her girlfriend have a name?
Yeah. Girlfriend.
I just know her as she's from
Rose.
The Good Place. She's Tahani's sister, Camilla in The Good Place.
Ted Danson is from The Good Place too, as well. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
It's the first time I've ever seen him in anything. Yeah, her name was Rose. She said it. She heavily said it at the very end of the movie.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay.
I think it's mentioned like twice, maybe.
Perhaps, yeah.
Yeah.
How about that? The dynamics between the landlord
Oh yeah, that's Leslie. Leslie. I could have did
Why?
kind of did
Why
without her
they?
character.
Why are they treating each other like they're 15 years old? Why not say, "Hey, I like you. Do you
Hmm.
want to go out with me?"
Because we've
No,
been
You're a grown
friends.
ass man. What
she
the
has some.
fuck?
She has some younger dick on the side. What are you guys talking about?
I'm gonna say clearly she's involved with someone, Nicholas.
No, because she would have said, "Hey, this is my boyfriend."
I agree.
She wasn't.
So here's
She
the
was
deal
just
with that.
playing her options.
Oh,
So
yes,
He,
and I
he
think
got that. He got that 500 days of summer treatment.
I think the situation that's going on there is ever since his wife died, he's been distant and he won't give anybody play. Here I go doing a job again, right?
Mhm.
Okay, but he's been distant and now he's finally opened up and she's just like, ooh, here's a chance. But I've already got Ryan.
Was that the case? Because she never said that this is my boyfriend
She
Ryan.
said nothing about Ryan. She just
Exactly.
said, this is Ryan.
This is Ryan.
Hey Ryan, this is Frank.
Yeah.
Frank's
Yeah.
my tenant. Like, damn. All you told me was his name was Ryan. Why?
Right.
Ryan getting it in. Go to the same
Man.
bar and everything.
Oh man.
So I just
Yeah.
can't wait. Like, man, this Ryan walking in while he's bartending now. Okay.
Ryan was coming to pick him something up, and Leslie happened to be there.
Mhm.
Well, just another kind of like storyline that didn't go anywhere there, where it's like, oh, I was under the impression that maybe, by
Passed.
or by losing his daughter, he decided to take a leap of faith in this woman and try to go for it with her and like try to date her. Like that would have been something. And I
Yeah,
guess they
sure,
kind of
they did
allude to that at the end, that they maybe are going to, see each other, but
Look like they're just gonna be friends still.
yeah, it does. Looks like he just got put in the friend zone
Hey,
after she kissed him.
How about the other sideline story? The mother.
Oh, man.
And the freak bicycling accident.
Yeah, there are.
It reminds me of Dewey
A lot of
Cox.
side stories, man.
It
It's
reminds
like
me of
it's like
of
an
Dewey
episode-
Cox and the freak table saw accident.
Oh God, how the hell did that happen, dude? I don't.
Wrong kid died.
I don't know. Excuse me. Man, I don't know. There is a lot. It's almost like this movie is an episode or two of a TV show yanked out of a season.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I think that there's also just like it could have really dived deep into the music thing too, and I don't really feel like that it did.
No, it had
You
fun
know.
though with that music. The music thing was just pure fun.
Sure, but it wasn't even like, I mean, like I guess it was integral to the story, but not really, because I thought like, oh, their concert somehow would help save the record store, but then this is all about everything changing. So, you can't have the record store stay up because change then wouldn't be a part of the motif. But it's just like, so now he's a bartender and his daughter's across the country, and
Right.
he's
She's gonna go
hopelessly
to school and
waiting
become
for
a
the
doctor when she graduates immediately.
right. Yeah.
Because that's what happens when you
be $500,000 in debt.
Yeah.
Well, I love that whole aspect where they're in bed. The girlfriend Rose and Sam are in bed. They're talking about what's realistic and what isn't, dream wise, and just accomplishing shit. She's like, basically spitting on your partner. Like, you're basically telling your partner trying to do music or do anything with a creative passion is not realistic. Like, well, damn. I'm just a piece of ass to you.
But she also did say, so you're going to give me free healthcare when you're a doctor? I would have been like, bitch, no, that shit's not cheap. What the fuck?
Yeah,
what are you going to give me a free
She gonna give her-
painting?
Yeah.
That's not a good exchange.
There was a lot of like
Get a job, hippie.
fucked up. And there was a lot of hippies in this movie.
Yeah.
This was
Hipsters.
a free
Yeah.
love type of a movie.
And it's interesting. There was a lot of dialogue from there that was just very asshole-ish, back and forth through different characters, and it was just like dismiss.
Mhm.
I was like, God damn, like you guys are
Nice
fucked up
snippets.
people.
Yeah.
But I'll agree with Nick. This movie was definitely made as from the perspective of the 17, 18-year-old in
Yes.
between high school, college girl. This movie
Yeah.
wasn't made from the perspective of the father or even from like a friend from the side view or the neighbor. It's made from her perspective. So I
Which
could
is funny
understand
because
some
it's
of the
also
attitude
made
behind
from
it.
Nick Offerman's perspective too. Like I know that the girl is the main character, but this is
Mhm.
Nick Offerman's the main character.
I
Like
think it's
we
more about him
follow.
than about her.
I agree, but it's not supposed to be, right? It's supposed to be about the
Oh yeah,
girl,
it's supposed to be about her, I guess. It's supposed to be about the song.
or maybe the both of them. But apparently, they didn't
No, yeah,
want
I
to
think it's
be
supposed to be about the
anywhere
song.
near each other.
It's all about the music, man. It's got to be
Yeah.
about the music.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I could have
And I
seen them
guess
doing like a that thing you do sort of thing. Have you seen that movie? Where it's like kind of like I think it's about the origin of the Beatles almost, but you know, like having like a hit song and then like, you know, taking it on the road. Like had this been an actual summer and not just like what seems like a month or something, you know, maybe they take it on the road and do some live shows, and then she decides that she wants to become a doctor, and then he gets angry, and they go through this sort of, you know, back and forth about what they want, and then they decide to do one final show together. That would have been fun. I would have liked that, you know.
And she discovering that she's gay on the road.
Yes.
Just like Queen. And he
finds her life.
discovers he's gay on the road too by going into them bathroom stalls.
What?
You haven't seen
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian.
Yeah.
It's a great. It's not a great movie to me, in my opinion. It's a movie that's basically given the origin stories of their greatest hits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Not exactly trying to take that.
You know, if you want to really watch a good like music movie that's kind of fun and doesn't take itself too seriously, I forget the no. There's a movie. I forget the name. Maybe you guys have seen it. It's about like all of the sudden all of the Beatles music disappears from the world, but there's only one guy that remembers the songs. Is it called Yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's actually a really good like comedy, and it's got a lot of heart too. And it's just basically this guy is the only person that knows the Beatles. And so he's like, all right, well, I'm going to recreate the Beatles. And he becomes like a big hit using all the Beatles songs. But yeah, it's a good music movie, comedy movie, if you're into that type of thing.
As long as it's not across the universe, I'm good.
Oh yeah, right. I know that was too dramatic.
Oh, thank you. Because for peace sakes, everybody thinks something's wrong with me for not liking that film.
Ah, it's too artsy. It is.
A music film is too artsy.
Yeah, yeah. It was just a big set piece for all the Beatles music, but it wasn't that good, if I recall.
Oh, it's also another Beatles movie.
Yeah. This one's called Yesterday. It's directed by Danny Boyle, and yeah, it's pretty good. Cute indie flick.
Yeah,
which is what this was supposed to be. A cute indie flick.
I thought it was a decent indie film. I don't know about cute. Yeah, I don't know anything to really grab and talk about though. That's one thing I was saying even through watching it. It's like, all right, you see a nice relationship between a father and a daughter, but again, like we were talking about, nothing is firm enough. None of the storylines have enough leg to grab onto. So to talk about it would almost be redundant because it's going to be over in 3. Actually, we've talked about most of it already.
Well, then the whole movie is inconsequential. You're basically at the beginning, at the end. I mean, you know, his daughter still leaves. He still sells the record store. He's still by himself. He's still in the friend zone.
See, Cameron, that's how I very much foreshadowed this cast. Clean, straight
to the point.
And straight to the point.
It's like Crash, but about music.
Crash. Still haven't seen that movie.
Really? Oh. Everybody makes it seem like it's a super complex movie. I don't think so, but
no, it was just the first movie that tied disparate storylines together in one moment. That's all. That's the only reason. That's the only reason people like it. Yeah.
But from the moment it came out, I was like, "This is a good movie, but it's simple." Like it's just straight to the point. It's simple. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's so crazy, the twists and turns," and I'm like, "Okay, let me watch it again."
Oh god, the people that I've seen in the movie, they all get together in the same place at one point, and that's how they all are tied together.
The twists and turns, and I was like, "Nah, it's written well, but it's simple."
Yeah.
And yeah, this was ultra simple, too simple almost, because again, it makes me feel as if it was ripped out of something. Like the branches of the rest of what it was connected to are still there, but the sentence doesn't run on. It just ends. It drops off. Instead of saying "what the hell," it says "what the." And the has no e.
Right. You know what could have saved this movie? A beginning intro montage of him and his daughter playing music as she grows up.
Ooh, yep.
That would have been perfect. That's all you had to do, because that would have set up the dynamic that they had together, that the love that they spent, playing music. And then it's all about him dealing with her having to go to college. Mm-hmm. And then that final performance actually means something, because you saw them actually play music together when she was little.
Right. Look at you doing.
But hey, I'm just a fucking, just some guy on the internet.
Good job, Nick.
There you go.
I mean, for what it's worth, I like the concept. I like where they were going, what they tried to get done, and for that reason, I don't hate this movie.
I don't hate it either. I just think that it could have been more fleshed out.
Mm-hmm. So the question is now: are we ready for ratings?
At your leisure, good sir.
I believe so. I'm looking at my notes and I'm like, what have we talked about? Store closes, store opens.
This shit kind of looks like Tessa Thompson, no?
She does look like Tessa Thompson's like little sister.
Little sister, yeah. Uh-huh.
They kind of have the same right
eyes. It's in the eyes for sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, are we doing ratings?
I go first real quick since it was my random lottery pick. Let's see. What would I give this bad boy?
Howie.
An Howie?
Yes. Howie Mandel.
We should do that for one show.
Get one Howie.
Yeah.
Just give an adjective to help describe what we really feel about a movie.
Right.
It's Howie. I'm giving this an Howie.
I'll give it 10 ooch.
Oochies.
Somebody give it a Uchi, somebody else give it a Wally Wally.
Yeah.
Bang bang.
Yeah.
All right. Who wants to take the reins?
We're mixing now.
Dijon's
I give it a 6.5.
6.5. 6.5. Any closing thoughts?
No. Tell you the truth. I mean, I enjoyed the music aspect of it. I felt like a lot of character plots were sincerely just not. It was very absent, and we got some of it here and there, but it was just very half baked. Like it basically kind of hooked us on a little bit with some interesting, well, not interesting, but with some decent dialogue. Then just been like, "Oops, we're not going to give you that." Kind of thing. And that's it. And I mean, the characters could have definitely, there could have been something more that really entice the audience to really care, because at this it's just like you really can't feel or really have any real relation to these characters, but to maybe, hey, like you guys said, it's like a 16 to 17-year-old, like in a sense, like coming of age, or not even coming of age, but trying to figure themselves out for life. Like, what I'm gonna do? Oh, which teenage girl or this teenager in general getting out of high school doesn't want to travel the world, or even just travel to a different state or city that's not their home? And then to what parent doesn't really want to see their child leave, especially with a traumatic past of being a widow or a widower or things like that. So I think there's a lot of things they could have really fleshed out, but that probably would have made it about a 2.5 hour movie if they really did that, which I probably would have never had the attention span to really watch it. In some parts, I enjoyed the music, but I watched it twice. I watched it back to back to make sure it wasn't to something I had a total bias of. And then with that being said, I noticed when certain bits where they showed the creation of certain songs, I'm like, that could have been used for character development in this movie, but it wasn't. But beyond that, I love Nick Offerman, and that's about it. And the music was cool, and it was nice to actually. And I did like the ending just because of the little concert. Music was cool, and that was it. But that's it. 6.5 for me.
Very nice. All right. I can go next. So for me, I am gonna also give this a 6.5. This movie had ebbs and flows, just ebbs and flows. But I do feel like it is a feel-good movie, one of those nice midday watches. You're moving around, but you got something on. You could turn it up a little bit. If you're one of those people, you might even want to sing along because the songs are catchy and nice. But if you're looking for a complex story, that's not really there. So
it's your Hallmark delight.
Yeah, it's definitely I could definitely see this popping up on those TV movies that come on, like I say, in your Saturdays and during your cleaning hours and stuff like that. So yeah, just a good midday feel good movie. So I'll give it a middle of the road score, 6.5. And I love the cast. I love the cast and the music.
Do it, Nick.
All right, let's blow this thing out of the water.
Do it.
No. Again, I understand what the movie was trying to do. I think that it had too many fingers and too many places, and it just didn't focus enough on any of the things enough for me. So I can't give it much higher than what you guys are doing. I'm not going to give it any higher than what you guys are doing. But
we are at the ceiling. We know that.
Yeah, but I mean, Deshaun brought up a good point. The concert at the end was the feeling that I was hoping for the entire time of this movie. And it felt to me that the movie didn't perform that at any other time than in that moment. And maybe that was on purpose, but it also made it feel like, oh, well, that's what the movie could have been right there. That emotional connection between them. But I just never felt that up until that point. And maybe there's something to say about build up there, but I feel like you could have used that spirit throughout the movie instead of just waiting until the last moment to say, oh yeah, they really do love and care about each other. Because up until then, I wasn't really convinced, to be honest. So this one is getting a 4 from me. It is. I see where it was trying to go. I just think that it got too caught up in too many ideas, not enough time. I think Nick Offerman was fine. I can't tell if I don't like him as an actor or not yet. I think I like him as Ron Swanson. That's just my own bias. So
Duke Silver?
Yeah, Duke Silver's good, but yeah.
I'll add to what you just said, and I'll be straightforward. I do not like him as an actor. I like him as Ron Swanson because I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I can see him as anything else because through this whole movie, he's just one of those characters where it's like he can't do a Ryan Reynolds or a Rock thing, even though these are comedians versus Ron Swanson. Yeah, and it's just one of those things where these guys come off as they can do that character, that have that persona,
that charisma.
Multiple,
it's a different type.
In these movies, and you could be like, yeah, I'm fine with that. In this, it was just like, if you seen Parks and Rec first before anything he's ever done, you're just gonna be like, oh, dude, that's this fucking Ron Swanson.
Yeah, why aren't you being Ron Swanson? That's why I think of it. Yeah.
I was definitely waiting on the laugh.
Oh, he did that once, which I thought was good. But yeah, no, look,
No, that drink.
Yeah.
Party
I
Ron.
like it, Party Ron. I love that. I like Nick Offerman. I think he's better in comedic roles. I don't know if he's good in dramas. This is a drama. It's marked as a comedy. I didn't laugh. I don't know if you guys laughed. I didn't laugh.
No.
So I don't know where the comedy was for that. But yeah, a 4 from me. There's something in there in that last scene with the concert that I really felt and was like, that's the thing that I wanted. So
You hit that
yeah,
all in your
yeah,
for
for actually hitting the mark in that point, then yeah, it gets a 4. Yep, that's it.
Yes, indeed.
That's it.
That gives us a 17 out of 30.
Does indeed.
Where's that ranked? I gotta know.
No, what's that, like a 5.2?
Something like that.
5.
I get my stupid calculator up. Hold on.
Yeah.
17. We are at a 5.6.
5.6. Okay.
What is that above?
That is above, and I can tell you, we can actually show you in just one moment. If you talk amongst yourselves, I can pull that up real quick.
I don't know. I'm thinking for sure it's above Mortal Kombat.
You wouldn't be wrong about that.
Right. Leagues above The Little Things and Paper Tigers. It's right above Army of the Dead, I say, or right with Army of the Dead.
Let's see. I'm going to try to pull it up on the screen here. So just give me one moment and I will have it ready. But yeah, 5.6 is kind of in that range. Paper Tigers is much lower than that now. Yeah, now, because I totally updated the ranking board. So that's what I'm pulling up right now, guys. I'm just waiting for it to download.
No worries. I mean, shoot, we'll be adding plenty more coming soon. It's gonna be, and we have to still get some TV shows in there.
Yeah, like Cowboy Bebop.
Oh yeah, I saw the trailer for that.
Now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the actual thing is out. I don't think it's just the trailer.
19th.
I think it's out. Yeah.
Friday, it came out Friday. I watched the first episode.
Oh yeah, how'd you like it?
It's very cartoony.
For a live action.
Yeah.
Is it Speed Racer cartoony or like?
Good question.
It's kind of.
Kind of.
Kind of. It does have that feel with the CGI.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about it yet. I only watched episode 1, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just sit down and watch all of the anime.
Nice.
And we'll see from there. Yeah.
All right.
I'm willing to do it because it's 20 episodes.
Yeah, let us know because I want to know if it's worth watching for sure. All right, so Hearts Beat Loud is at a 6.5, and our current ranking board is as follows. So that puts it somewhere around. Let's see, it's at a 5.6. Sorry, it's at a 5.6.
So number is 20.
Yeah, just above Malignant, in between Black Widow and Malignant.
Leave Empty Man alone.
Empty Man is the new low.
It's filling an empty space.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's in the good middle of the track range. It's not offensive enough to get lower than that. I don't think
it's not bad enough to queue up a Boyz II Men song.
No, definitely not. But yeah, cool. We good?
It's hot in my closet.
Is it? All right. We should wrap it up. Do you want to wrap it up, Dijon?
All right, folks. See, we finished early, 15, 25 minutes. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then, folks. Thank you for joining us tonight here on the Screen Time Continuum. Jesus Christ, if you want to follow us individual, you can check out Nick on Mondays. He does his podcast, Exofathom, at 8 o'clock. Here on Western Time, along with on Tuesdays, followed up with Keelan and his show. F Numbers Can Talk. Check that out just about the same time, in 8 or 8:30. And then if I really don't have a schedule like I used to anymore, when I get the time of day, thanks to my beloved son, I will fire up my Xbox or PlayStation, whatever comes first, and play some games. And you guys can see that on Strawberries and Coffee on Twitch. And yes, or you just want to be appear at us and just check us out here on Screen Time Continuum on Sundays and Wednesdays at 8:30. Just come on by and just keep supporting. Thank you guys so much. I'm the Mustard.
I'm Nick.
I'm Keelan.
Good night.
Appreciate it, guys.